Hello, YouTube subscribers. Today or tonight, whenever you're watching this, I am doing another Ghostbusters movie review. Also, this video review isn't just on the movie review of Afterlife, but also on the Ghostbusters video game. Sorry, I had to grab my phone for this. Oh, there's my glasses case. Wonder what that was. Anyway, I know, I've been a very, very bad YouTuber lately. I skipped a few weeks, a few days, not posting anything to you, my subscribers, my lovable subscribers. I am so terribly sorry. Yes, when I did the review for Tiffany, I'm sorry how bad that turned out. I promise I will redo that video at some point. But I'm glad you guys enjoyed the Terrifier videos. I'm very happy you guys enjoyed those video reviews. I'm still happy that you guys found enjoyable of my Tiffany review. This week I will once again be doing 3 videos. Tonight's video. Wednesday will be a video because last week I got the NECA figure Megan. So I'll be doing a review on that Wednesday. And then Thursday I will be doing a review for Venom Let There Be... Wait, no, not Let There Be Carnage. My bad. I'm sorry. Sorry, that one is my favorite one so far. But Thursday will be a review on Venom The Last Dance. So yeah. Look out for all those videos, including this one. Even though it will be posted by tonight. / tomorrow. Anyway. Okay, Ghostbusters, the video game. Originally first came out... The original release date was back in 2009. The original video game was released back in 2009, but remastered because it was remastered. I know the remastered was probably like around, because it got released in the year of... Yay, my phone still works. Anyway. Anyway. Yes, the video game original release date, what the first time around was back in 2009. But it got remastered, and I tried to look that up just now, and I could not find the second release date for, like, the remastered version. So, but it got remastered for, like, the updated systems, like the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One. So, but it's complicated. Like, if you're a Ghostbusters fan, you would go along with it and say, yes, Either other way, it's a fun game. You're a Ghostbusters fan, you'll go along with it, even though most of the levels are hard to get through. You try to suffer through it because it is fun at times. You get to meet new ghosts, new boss. You have perfect boss levels of new ghosts. It does and it does have forgive me for Egon Spengler mentioned that he had a daughter at some point in the game. So basically, by that, some fans say that yes, the video game is basically canon to not just before Afterlife, like years before Afterlife, but after Ghostbusters 2. That basically Ghostbusters the video game is basically a third part is Ghostbusters 3. If we actually did get a Ghostbusters 3, that the video game is it. And basically it takes place even before Afterlife as well. Now, as some people rather say, it is not canon, doesn't matter what it has, that basically you could ignore it, which could you? Yes, you can, but granted, I mean, if you're a true Ghostbusters fan, yes, you will play it either other way, doesn't matter how hard it is to play it and get through it. You will consider it as canon no matter what, as I do, because at first, yeah, I had a few troubles, but once I got to that part where he does mention that he had a daughter, then I'm like, okay, yeah, I can see how it is canon, even though by that small mentioning part. But in the game, you basically play as your own Ghostbusters character, a newbie, carrying around your own proton pack, your own proton gun, ghost tracker, ghost trap, and following the original 4 Ghostbusters, and it basically takes place a few years after Ghostbusters 2, because it does mention Ghostbusters 2 alongside the first Ghostbusters. And then but jumping from that into Ghostbusters Afterlife, ooh. Honestly, did I go to the theaters and see Ghostbusters Afterlife? No, I did not. But after it came out and I bought it, I really regretted not going to see it in theaters. Honestly, I was blown away how much this Ghostbuster movie was. I expected it after the girls' version. I'm like, okay, no, I'm sorry, no. There's no way in hell this Ghostbusters movie is gonna be. Yes, we have the original saga, which includes the video game, if you want to include it or not. And then we have the remake movie timeline universe, and then now we have the requel, somewhat requel, or in this term, not really requel, but more legacy sequel, because technically this goes on the term of legacy sequel, and yes, there is a freaking difference between requel and legacy sequel. Legacy sequel is more of continuing, like allow the movies to continue with the first, along with the first movie, the second movie, the third movie, so on, whatever, and continue after where the last movie continued, with a brand new cast and the originals cast. And Ghostbusters Afterlife, directed by the son of the original Ghostbusters director. That and I gotta say he did really damn good for Ghostbusters Afterlife. I got to admit, yes, like I was saying, after the ladies, the remake, I did not have very much hopes for this to be a good Ghostbusters. Granted, it was going to have the original actors group of Ghostbusters as the actual original Ghostbusters, and not as basically cameos, not as themselves, but still cameos, but as the original Ghostbusters. I'm like, well, okay, cool, yeah, sure. And I knew, sure, we were going down that path of requels, legacy sequels, because requels and legacy sequels are starting to be that big, huge money plot making, milking crap that just like remakes. Once remakes came out, everybody did a handful of remakes. They're still doing handful of remakes to this day. Once the 2018 Halloween movie came out, Ghostbusters started to follow that formula. Scream started to follow that formula. Not really so much of Star Wars, but you want to add Star Wars, so be it. But anyway, I mean, I kind of see the similarities of a legacy sequel with Star Wars, just like with Ghostbusters and Scream. But a requel is more like Halloween, what 2018 Halloween did. But anyway, I liked how the original director's son did with Ghostbusters Afterlife. When I first bought it and first sat down and watched it, I was really blown away of how good he basically threw in that basically, yes, Egon Spengler's daughter, she basically didn't know anything about her father. She basically just thought he was just some abandoned asshole dad that didn't really give two shits about her. And then you also get to meet that basically she had a daughter. Well, first her son, which played by one of the Stranger Things cast members, main cast in the show, which also turned around after that show, is It Chapter 2, as young kid Richie went back to Stranger Things, then did Ghostbusters Afterlife, went back to Stranger Things, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, then going back to, once again, for the very last season of Stranger Things. I do like him as an actor. He is a really good actor. I hope he gets to do more movies and shows after the 5th season of Stranger Things. Especially, I really loved him as Richie. I loved him in Stranger Things, as I already said, but I do love him in the Ghostbusters. He is like a perfect Ghostbuster. And then we get to meet that his young sister Phoebe, and Phoebe is basically more like the female Egon Spengler. She takes more after her grandfather instead of Egon's grandson. Which I thought it was cool. I didn't see a problem with that. And Claire, I really love the actress they choose to play the Egon's granddaughter. I thought she was really good in the role. But before we get to meet them, we get a few glimpses of Egon. We don't really get to see, well, we kind of get to see his face, like a beard, see how long, like, he has a beard, see how long he has his hair. It's him wearing the glasses, but we don't really get to see the face. And we get to see him on a farm trying to do a Ghostbuster job, and then, all suddenly we see him die. Then we jump to basically our first three main cast. Is Egon Spengler's daughter, his granddaughter, and his grandson. And we see them trying to go through life, trying to pay the bills, trying to do this and that. Normal bullshit. So, and then she finds out that her dad just died. Egon Spengler's daughter just found out Egon just died. She goes out to the farm, finds out that he didn't really do much farm stuff. Everybody at that town basically called him, told her that he didn't really knew much about him, and basically they had a nickname that wasn't really very nice, that she didn't like them calling him, even though, like you could see that she didn't really like her dad, that because he wasn't really there. But when the town called him by the name that they had for him, she didn't really like it. She hated it, which it was more that confusing bond that she has, that basically she wasn't really that close. She didn't really know her father, but so that's why she hates him. And he was never there. But again, she feels this connection right when she gets there, and she slowly starts hating how people called him by the nickname and saw him. Also Phoebe, the granddaughter, and Egon's daughter has had two different type of feelings. That basically, the daughter still saw Egon how she always saw him, but Phoebe grew this connection because all of a sudden, after like the next morning, after like the night after she gets settled and started to fall asleep, Egon knocks over this chessboard. She picks it up, sets all the chess pieces right by her bed. She falls asleep, wakes up the next morning, sees one chess piece moved. And then she moves it. She realized that basically, she slowly realized Egon, her grandfather, is there, and she slowly starts to realize ghosts are real, because she mentions in the movie that ghosts aren't real, yada yada yada. And then we also see her go to summer school, public summer school, which she hates, and meets a friend, meets somebody and has a friend. She also meets her teacher, which also kind of becomes her friend and teach her about all the Ghostbusters. Um, and so and how we get to see the original cast come back along the way of how they got mentioned and how basically Phoebe calls one of them for help and then once because they went on a ghost mission that kind of accidentally stumbled into a ghost and purposely finished the job of ghostbusting. Got thrown in prison. Phoebe called one of the Ghostbusters, and which it made a lot of people question after this movie, which I felt really dumb afterwards, unless because I went back and forth, teeter-tottered, of, okay, yeah, Ray, which the Ghostbuster that she called, he had his supernatural store, which made me think, okay, is this after basically the second Ghostbusters and even the video game? Because I didn't know there was a video game until after I went to Target one day and bought it. And then and then and then I'm like, or is this after the? Is it after just the first movie, or is it after the second movie? And then after I played the video game, I'm like, is it even after the video game? And then once Frozen Empire came out, that's when it answered all the questions. Because I teeter-tottered, okay, yeah, the way how he explained it, he could have opened the shop basically still directly after the first movie, between the first movie and Afterlife, but I'm like, still something's off here. That basically something's telling me, even the second movie, which basically Frozen Empire basically once again just answer that for us, which I will review next Monday. Not, and basically this is the first Ghostbusters movie I actually cried to. Not, being honest here. When I first saw this and when I've always watched this, I tear up once to a certain point. They mention more of Egon and how Phoebe is more protective about the stories of her grandfather and basically towards her mom, that how her mom doesn't see that yet, but Phoebe wants her to, and then it takes, and then once they had Egon's ghost guide her down to the a laboratory basement that he had underneath his home, and she sees that he basically was always there, watching her, protecting her, learning about every single moment. And that teared me up, and basically how what and then also what also got me was, even though, yeah, sure, it wasn't the actual actor because he died even before the remake came out, but they actually had a good close of actor to represent him, and it still hit that heart of emotion, of just seeing a ghost figure of him there, helping his granddaughter, helping the rest of the Ghostbusters, his grandson, their friends, um, his Egon's daughter, and just seeing the. At first, it's kind of funny, but it's still emotional. Seeing the first three Ghostbusters be like shocked, like, oh shit, he's here. Oh, but we're glad. And then just see them tear up and just see them heartbroken and just don't want to say the words goodbye, even though they have to, in a way. Including that's why they did it, as a form of a goodbye, as a form, especially for Bill Murray, as because I heard that they had issues after the second movie, like after one movie that they did together, and he felt bad because he never got the moment to apologize for whatever that argument was. He didn't even remember, couldn't remember, but that's why he did this Ghostbusters movie, to say goodbye with the rest of them, alongside to say, I'm sorry. And basically, if you catch it just right, you can actually see that. Especially, it's hard. When Phoebe called, uh, one of the Ghostbusters, one of the originals, Ray, when Phoebe calls Ray, and while she's in the police station, and he's still in his supernatural store, and automatically it was hard for him to say the line from the script, basically the mean words, the mean sentences that he had to say about Egon, because he choked, he froze, and you could see in his eyes he did not want to say those words, because how much Egon, the actor that played Egon, meant to him. And as a person in real life, towards a friend, that it hurts. Trying to do a movie knowing that you're doing it for a friend, but the line is so mean. It's like, I don't want to say it, but I have to, because it's for the movie, and in a way it's part of it, and it's not like you actually mean it, even though you kind of have to sell the movie. But it's like you understand that whole tear breaking, heartbreaking, that tear dropping, heartbreaking moment. Each of those moments, it's like this. Once I first saw this, after I got home, and when I first saw it, I'm like, damn, okay, yes, the graphics is good, the storyline is good, the acting is good. I do like some of the new monsters, the classic monsters that they mentioned from, like, the first movie to, like, most of the cartoons and toys and stuff. But I liked that Paul Rudd. I mean, I'll always like Paul Rudd, from Friends to Ant-Man to basically this. Which, he was actually one of the reasons why I wanted to see this Ghostbusters as well. But I just, the acting, the graphics, the CGI, it took me back to the original movie. How close it did try to take Ghostbusters fans to the original movie. And I did like that. It had the heart, the feeling of everything a Ghostbusters movie should have. And I really enjoy this one a lot more, especially because how heart touching this this Ghostbusters movie really made Ghostbusters fans feel about the actor's passing of Egon Spengler. Even though he passed years ago, this movie makes you feel like it happened basically last year or the year before last year. It really makes you feel that. So that's why it's actually one of my favorites. So Ghostbusters Afterlife. I give it basically 5 stars as it shows on the cover. Ghostbusters the video game, I give it 2.5 stars. So anything Ghostbusters, drop it in the comments down below. If you're a original subscriber, welcome back. I appreciate you guys always keep coming back to every single of my videos. If you're a newcomer randomly dropping by, please hit that subscribe button because I welcome all new and old subscribers with open arms. Have a nice day. Have a nice night. Also, before I go, also on the side of dropping comments down below in the comments of like anything Ghostbusters, if you liked this video, hit that like button and please tell me what you liked it about this video. If you didn't like this video, please hit that dislike button and comment down below what you did not like me doing in this video so I could change that. Other than that, now, have a nice day, have a nice night whenever you're watching this. Peace.